I have a serious question. Like, were we not just paying attention? Did we miss all this in years before? Because I don't think I've ever seen the consistency of these things taking place. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Were you? I'm being serious here. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all again so much for coming over. Plane catches fire while taking off in Texas. Now look, this is just, oh my goodness, man. We're gonna check this video out. This is just it's getting out of hand, man. It really is.
Well, take a look. More scary moments for airline passengers. This is a United Airlines plane that caught fire while taking off over the weekend in Houston. NBC's Priscilla Thompson has the latest there.
You can't take that. You have to leave it right here.
Harrowing moments in Houston when a United Airlines flight caught fire just before takeoff.
Please get us on.
This video, a passenger shot showing flames coming out of the aircraft's wing. The New York-bound passengers appearing frantic as flight attendants urged.
You know, they say, you can say this, you can say that. You never know until you're in a situation, man. Just looking at that, seeing the fire, you don't know if this thing is about to explode or what. You know, and as the flight attendants, you try to get everybody off in a calm manner, like when nobody's stepping over each other. But my goodness, man, just seeing that, they said moments before takeoff. Wherever I had to go, ain't going no more.
Calm.
Please remain seated until further.
First responders racing to the scene.
Precaution right now, request fire truck.
United Airlines says that during takeoff, United Flight 1382 received an indication about one engine and halted the takeoff.
Which engine was it? There's engine 2 is our indication, it's right engine.
More than 100 passengers and 5 crew members were on board, United Airlines says, including Daria Amai Shelton.
You know, we had a big popping sound that was loud enough to startle me out of my sleep. And then the plane actually jolted to a stop.
She and fellow passengers seen here sliding to safety.
Seeing the smoke off the wing was really scary. And then seeing the intensity of everyone just trying to get off the plane orderly was a lot.
Passengers left waiting on the runway with the plane before officials say they were bused back to the terminal. The FAA says they will investigate those United Airlines passengers finally in the air after an early morning takeoff scare.
Well, it's situations like that and the tragedies in Philly and D.C. that have many travelers on edge.
Right. But as travelers' concerns rise over flying due to the recent tragedies, one American Airlines pilot took a moment to share some words of encouragement with his passengers. Take a listen.
Maybe fearful about flying, and that's certainly understandable, but just please know that my first officer and our flight attendants and myself place your safety and the responsibility of carrying you to Miami, to your families, your vacations, your meetings, at the highest level. I have no higher calling than carefully and professionally transporting you today. So with that, relax and enjoy the beautiful evening that we get to fly in. We'll be underway shortly. Welcome aboard.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I would want to hear that. I don't want you getting in my head, brother. I don't think I would want to hear that. And then I'm thinking to myself, how many times has that been said and then something happens? Of course, we know you're supposed to be, all about safety. I don't want you telling me that. That's the reason I'm getting on the plane, is because I know that's what you're supposed to be about. Now you're telling me, I'm a little worried. What else you supposed to be about? I'm just saying, man. Again, if you're new to the channel, this is your first time coming over here. I said it before. I love to travel. I love going places. I just hate flying. I hate it. But I've done it many times. Now, it's going to be a while. I'm just saying, man, I don't know if I wanted to hear what he just had to say. I'm going to look at the comments after.
It's really touching because the pilot's speaking to the concerns that he knows that those people probably have sitting on that plane. By the way, that was American Airlines flight 1044, which was headed for Miami on Thursday, just a day after the American Airlines plane collided with that helicopter in D.C. I think
the other way around.
We just listed off several instances of planes and mishaps. It still goes back to, it is by far the safest mode of travel there is statistically. And it had been 16 years since there had been a plane crash, domestic plane crash with a carrier here in the U.S.
I want to give some perspective here. I've covered many instances and stories of plane crashes, small plane crashes. These are things that happen actually pretty often. Typically, we don't hear about what we've seen recently, which is large numbers of people passing away in these crashes. But whether it be small plane crashes or, our larger commercial flights, there are so many efforts underway to make sure that those flights stay safe, to make sure, to Ben's point, that it remains one of the safest forms of transportation, because you are being carried through the air with an expectation of making it to your home safely. So I'm sure those efforts are going to be continuing to just continue to move that needle and make sure everyone stays safe on that very critical mode of transportation.
I just like, it's just my whole thing. Like, I understand it. It's the safest way of travel and all that. As I mentioned before, I hate talking about this stuff, but I've been in 2 car accidents, 2. In my 44 years of living. When I'm just saying, how many people are still here to say they were in a plane accident? And again, I understand it's the safest way, but like, you up in that air, man, and I mean, when it's just like turbulence, people, they panic. You hear people start to get nervous and stuff because the fear, like, you don't know. I just, Let me look at some of the comments here, man. First comment here says, okay, that's 3. We can stop with the aircraft problems now. Historically was safe. We have a current trend that can't be ignored. I don't know if did I read that right? I wouldn't even want to get on the airplane now. It's just too much going on now. Are you kidding? Why are the issues with planes? Exactly why you pay attention to the emergency briefing before takeoff. Someone said, I would never fly now. Someone said, I have worked for airlines. If people knew, they wouldn't fly. What do you mean by that? People are like, knew what? I just saw on the news, flying is a safe way to travel. I don't know anymore. I mean, I understand people got to go places. People have to travel for work, for whatever, family, whatever. I'm not saying don't get on a plane. What I'm saying is I have never seen the consistency of these things happening like this. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. This is definitely odd and strange. I believe we could all agree with that. Luckily for them, they were able to get off. But I mean, like I said before, one of my wife coworkers was on that plane when that door flew off. If you guys remember that recently, kind of recently, when that door flew off, yeah. So I don't know, man. Comment below. Like I said, man, it's very weird and strange. All right, peace out.